It was a crisp Saturday morning, and I had just finished tuning up my ATV in the driveway. For me, that machine wasn't just a toy. It was freedom. I worked overtime shifts and saved for nearly 2 years just to buy it. Every ride through the back trails felt like an escape from the stress of daily life. But that morning, as I stepped inside to grab a quick drink, I didn't know it would be the last time I'd see my ATV parked safely outside. When I returned, it was gone. At first, I thought maybe a buddy had played a prank or borrowed it without asking. But then I saw her, Karen's daughter Madison, speeding down the road on my ATV, her long hair flying, music blasting, like it was her own. My heart sank, then boiled over with anger. I yelled after her, but she didn't stop. A few neighbors turned their heads, some shook them in disapproval, but nobody dared step in. Why? Because everyone knew what Karen and her daughter were like. They ruled the neighborhood with arrogance, backed by Karen's position on the HOA board. Madison had a reputation. Speeding through the neighborhood, breaking rules, and always bragging that her mom could make problems disappear. When she finally returned hours later, mud splattered all over the ATV, I marched straight up to her. "Madison, that's mine. Give it back. Now." She rolled her eyes, swinging her leg off like she had just finished a joyride. "Relax. It's just an ATV. Besides, my mom says we can use whatever we want. You don't actually think anyone's going to believe you over us, do you?" The smugness in her voice made my fists clench. Before I could argue more, Karen herself stepped outside, arms crossed, sunglasses perched on her nose like she was some kind of celebrity. "What's all the fuss? Madison just borrowed it." "Don't be dramatic." "Borrowed," I shot back. "She stole it without asking. That's theft." Karen smirked, whispering loudly enough for the neighbors nearby to hear. "Oh, please. Nobody's calling the cops over a silly toy. And if you do, well, remember who runs this HOA. I can make your life very uncomfortable." Her threat was real. I'd seen her slap neighbors with fines for grass an inch too high, or a trash bin left out too long. Everyone feared her. For the first time in a long while, I felt cornered. But then, something inside me snapped. I had worked too hard for this, sacrificed too much, to let some spoiled kid and her power-hungry mother bully me. So, I made a decision. I would stand up, even if I stood alone. I called the police. The moment the cruiser pulled into the neighborhood, Karen's smile faltered. Madison, however, stood tall and cocky. "You can't do anything to me," she sneered. "I'm untouchable." But as the officer took down my report, carefully eyeing the mud-caked ATV and Madison's smug expression, I saw the first cracks in her confidence. The next few days were tense. Karen stormed to my house, banging on the door, demanding I drop the charges. She screamed that I was humiliating her family and that I'd regret this. Neighbors peeked out from behind curtains, whispering but never stepping in. But I didn't back down. I provided proof. The receipts of ownership, photos of me with the ATV, even security camera footage from a neighbor's house that caught Madison driving it away. The evidence was ironclad. When the court date came, I walked in nervous but determined. Madison sauntered in like she was walking a fashion runway, phone in hand, not taking it seriously at all. Karen whispered to her, promising it would all go away. But the judge was no fool. The police report was clear. Madison hadn't borrowed the ATV. She had stolen it, damaged it, and openly admitted she thought she could get away with it because of her mother's influence. For the first time, Madison's smirk faded. The judge sentenced her to community service and ordered her to pay restitution for the damages. But the biggest blow, a criminal record. That untouchable shield she hid behind crumbled in seconds. Karen exploded in the courtroom, arguing and yelling, until the bailiff had to escort her out. Neighbors who had stayed silent before now approached me quietly, some even thanking me for standing up when they couldn't. Madison avoided me after that. She still strutted around with attitude, but the shine was gone. Word spread fast. She wasn't untouchable after all. As for me, I rode my repaired ATV through the trails again, this time with a smile of quiet pride. I hadn't just reclaimed my property. I had shown that no one, no matter how powerful they think they are, is above accountability. Ending message: strong, inspiring for viewers. This story isn't just about an ATV. It's about standing your ground when you're bullied, even if it feels like you're up against impossible odds. Entitlement can roar loudly, but truth always speaks louder in the end. If you've ever felt silenced or small in the face of arrogance, remember this: one act of courage can ripple through an entire community.